here. She's only there because she's a black woman.
Of course he said that. Like, it's Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Like, big.
So
That's not
petty.
breaking news. Ketanji Brown Jackson is more than qualified to be on the bench. But this is what they do. Like, they should have just taken the win, but they cannot get out of using race and gender to try and bait people against each other.
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Second Take channel, where we tune into CNN so you can skip it. On Friday, Scott Jennings made a return to CNN's Newsnight with Abby Phillip. In the studio, Scott Jennings delivered a harsh critique of Democrats by listing Trump's successes, causing the panel to react immediately. Predictably, they resorted to their usual tactics, accusing him of racism and avoiding the truth. Have we covered this territory before? It all feels quite familiar. Anyway, let's watch as Scott Jennings takes apart their narrative, tackling each win individually. Let's dive in.
Entire situation was Justice Sotomayor, who you just read a little piece, she actually read her dissent from the bench out loud for 20 minutes. She was so angry about this majority decision.
Yeah.
That does not happen.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously very controversial, partly because, in addition to all of this, it just opens the door to Donald Trump just going crazy in terms of executive orders. He can issue an executive order today and will likely. He said so today, and he knows that the lower courts cannot carte blanche stop him, which hugely increases the power of the executive.
Yeah, look, this is a great week for him, not just because of this ruling, but earlier in the week, the Supreme Court handed him the ruling on being able to deport illegal immigrants to third-party countries, essentially. So he's on a little bit of a winning streak in the courts right now. And you know what a lot of Republicans are saying is, nope, we're not tired of winning yet. This happened. The stock market's at a record high. He brokered the ceasefire in the 12-day war. Peace broke out between Rwanda and the Congo. I mean, gas prices are at a 4-year low for the summer. I mean, win after win after win. And this particular one is the most important because these individual judges had been, I think, unfairly stopping the president from governing. He won the election, they didn't. We don't have 600 presidents, we have one president. And now he's going to be able to actually govern. And so you could make an argument that this week or the last 2 weeks, the best week or 2 weeks of his entire presidency.
Doesn't mean it's good for America, but
she's only there because she's a black woman.
of course he said that. Like, it's Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Like, big.
So
That's not
petty.
breaking news. Ketanji Brown Jackson is more than qualified to be on the bench. And I would argue, I don't like all the justices and their judicial rulings, and they all have very qualified judicial records. So the fact that she is a black woman, the first black woman, there have been many, many before her, and there will be many, many after. Will they all get the chance to be on the bench? No. But this is what they do. Like, they should have just taken the win, but they cannot get out of using race and gender to try and bait people against each other. I'll just also say, I still think that the Supreme Court will not rule that birthright citizenship should be overturned.
Yeah, I think that's important.
yeah.
I think that's important to mention to people because I think people are trying to figure this out. We're not all legal beagles like you, unfortunately. So they're trying to figure out how does this actually impact the class action thing. Like you mentioned, that's incredibly burdensome for people to try to get on board with.
And
How many
it's
times have
gonna
you gotten
bog down
class
the
action
court
lawsuits?
system
It's going to
again.
bog down the
Yep.
court system.
Here-
This is just
back
going to
to the
delay
beginning.
certain things.
It's interesting, in 2022, Justice Kagan actually gave an interview and said out loud what a lot of conservatives have been saying this year, which is that how can it be that an individual district court judge can issue a nationwide injunction and effectively grind a presidency to a halt and take years and years and years for it to go through the process. Now, she obviously voted the other way this time around. I wonder what caused her to change her opinion.
Interestingly, hits the tech sector. People like Jeff Bezos, who apparently can't afford to pay more taxes, they have to spend it on their lavish weddings. And I think, this just goes to the core point, which is that there is no real governing trade negotiating philosophy here. We have the Liberation Day in early April. That kind of went south. Then it's Taco Trump. He says he's going to get deals now. Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, says maybe we'll get deals in September, perhaps. I don't think there's any driving force or narrative that we can grab onto about what his trade strategy really is.
I can educate you if you'd like.
Please
so,
do.
number one, we already have a deal with Great Britain. Number two, we're dealing strongly with the Chinese, and those conversations are where they are. Number three, all these other conversations are ongoing, and it's more than just the tariff rates. It's the tariff trade barriers that they're trying to get right. A lot of countries do things that make it very difficult for U.S. companies to do business. So they have put a lot of balls in the air here, and you can't deny the results. And even economists now who are predicting gloom and doom are having to admit maybe, one guy even said this week, maybe Trump outsmarted us on this. And today, just today, the stock market hit a record high. So it seems to be working out, and the driving force is we're getting better deals for America, better deals for American workers, and we're not being taken advantage of anymore.
It's undeniable. Trump is on a roll, and CNN is flustered, losing viewers rapidly. Recently, the Supreme Court delivered him a 6-3 ruling that halts activist judges from undermining his policies. Now, illegal immigrants can be sent to third countries, gas prices are decreasing, and the stock market is reaching new highs. Meanwhile, CNN overlooks all of this and jumps straight into race baiting. Usually, I design my thumbnails and then shoot the video, often missing the link between them when I'm narrating. But today, you just saw exactly what the thumbnail pointed to. You know how it said even CNN can't brush this off, showing Scott in disbelief? It was all about him reacting to Ashley Allison's bold claim that Republicans are the ones using race and gender to create divisions. Honestly, that's the core strategy of the Democratic Party: identity politics. They've built their support by telling people their race dictates their political stance, and now she's acting as if that's a conservative move. I'm trying hard not to be mean here, but if Ashley Allison truly believes that, she's not as sharp as I thought. And when Charlie Kirk bluntly says that Biden chose Ketanji Brown Jackson because she's a black woman, Ashley completely loses it. If DEI were genuinely about qualifications, Democrats wouldn't be so upset when it's mentioned. But they are, because deep down, they know it's just a ruse, and Americans aren't playing along anymore. I think the American public has loudly rejected this. Maybe that sounded a bit off, but let's forget CNN for a moment. Donald Trump is finally rid of those rogue judges, and if, please dear Lord, the GOP keeps their act together, this might just be the dawn of Trump's new presidency. Onward.
They're saying, oh, that 90-day deadline, we're just going to push it back out another 90 days. So the market's basically saying, oh, okay, they're just going to push it back.
Well, whatever it takes to say Donald Trump is wrong. I guess that's what people will do.
Well, no,
even today.
But genuinely, maybe you could argue that this is a negotiating tactic that is working fine. But the truth is, Trump is in fact backing down, and the markets have calmed because of that.
Yeah, he's doing what he thinks he needs to do with individual situations, and look also what's happening with individual companies. We had reshoring announcements this week. General Electric in my home state of Kentucky decided to reshore a bunch of jobs. The CEO of General Electric said the current policy environment is why we're doing it. So they're bringing a whole bunch of jobs from overseas back to the United States. You have announcement after announcement after announcement on top of these great gains in the market. Look, maybe sometimes the answer is, hey, maybe it's working. Maybe it's working.
But it's not.
But if you tell me you're going to do 10 things and you do one of them and you keep claiming victory and the other 9 are just coming down
the economy are you unhappy about today?
Go to
me personally, because I could easily go into the
what about
another bigger picture problem here.
Well, wait a minute. The market. Hold on one second. Just on the market. Wait a minute. When the market was plummeting, the market didn't matter. But today the market is good, so now it matters. And this is the double talk we're talking about. It's like the reason why people are hesitant to be like, yes, this is good, Donald Trump, because y'all don't do it either. People are not being honest brokers on these things. People who voted for Donald Trump as working class Americans are still struggling today as they were on November 5th. That is a fact. So they don't care that those arrows on that paper are green. Just like you told me they didn't care when those arrows were red.
Look, we have low gas prices right now. We have jobs coming back to the United States. We have inflation rates slowing.
You sound like me on November 4th.
I mean, we have a lot of
and that was the day before the election,
we have a
and we
lot
lost.
of positive green shoots in the economy, and you don't seem to want to acknowledge it. It's kind of working.
There are positives.
I really don't understand the strategy of creating an enemy out of an ally. I really don't understand why the president is in Canada.
Yeah, why are they taxing us?
Why is the president in Canada a week and a half ago
why do we have to
at the
accept these taxes?
G7 and he doesn't get any deals done? There is no deal making going on. There's just pushing away our best allies.
Why are they taxing us? Can you explain?
Scott,
this is a response to our tariffs.
That is a great question. Why are they taxing us?
Why are they doing this to our country?
Why are they taxing us? Trump has threatened to annex them. Yes. He has slapped tariffs on them. So what incentive does Canada have to play nice?
Because we mean more to them than they mean to us. We have a lot
So
of leverage
Trump
here,
can
just as the president said.
So
They
you're
should not be
saying that Trump
antagonizing
can
our
just-
tech companies.
So Trump can just continue to threaten to take over a sovereign country, tariff them, insult them, and
Well, if we were in
they
charge of them, we
they
wouldn't
don't
have
get to
tariffs.
fight back.
No, fight back. I mean,
No, no.
if they want to
I'm just saying, it doesn't seem
antagonize
like a good
these
strategy
U.S.
to
tech
engender
companies,
friendship.
there will
That's all I'm
be
saying.
there will be consequences of that in the ongoing negotiation. I don't understand why they thought this was a good idea. As Trump pointed out, Europe already does this. They shouldn't go that
Yeah,
direction.
it seems.
You can practically see them exhausting their topics right in front of you. Seriously, how is this even news? So, let me get this straight. CNN claims the markets are thriving because Trump is supposedly easing off on trade? That just screams biased reporting. It's hard to believe anyone buys that narrative. Everyone at CNN, except maybe Scott, seems clueless. Particularly on this issue. Trump isn't retreating, he's negotiating, like the deal maker he is. Addressing trade individually with each nation. We have all this evidence proving it works. General Electric is bringing jobs back to the US, gas prices are incredibly low, inflation is cooling off, and the market's on fire. Frankly, their argument makes no sense because Trump is taking a tough stance with Canada, and he's certainly not retreating. Can we focus on Canada for a second to remind the CNN folks why trade was so crucial for Trump? For ages, Canada has been hitting the US with 200 to 300% tariffs on dairy, poultry, and eggs, while demanding market access from us. They call it supply management, but honestly, it's foolish. It's just protectionism with a polite smile, whereas American farmers are left to compete globally with no support. That's not genuine free trade, it's a rigged game. Thank goodness Trump stepped up to push back. For decades, DC bureaucrats have signed off on deals that hurt American workers, and now that someone is finally defending them, the media is losing it. I keep saying this so often it sounds rehearsed, but it matches the situation perfectly. If you know what's coming next, feel free to join in. They're not upset because Trump is messing up, they're furious because he's succeeding. Just made that up, no joke. If Canada's allowed to protect its industries, why shouldn't we be able to do the same? Is it extreme for Trump to want fair competition? Actually, if all we do is create an even playing field, other countries should be thanking the US because they need us. The fact that the US even entertains equitable trade deals is downright generous. We've got all the leverage, but what do you think? Does Ashley Allison genuinely believe her own words, or is she just sticking to a script? How long can CNN go on dismissing real successes like dropping gas prices in a booming market just because it's Trump behind them? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. In any case, that's all for this video. Any support you can offer, like subscribing, turning on notifications, and sharing, is hugely appreciated. Since I started asking for your help in July, your support has been incredibly impactful in growing this channel. You are its backbone. Thank you so much. And, as always, I truly appreciate you taking a few minutes to watch my video. Your time is valuable. Never forget, Jesus loves you. See you next time.